What's up, everybody? Got my package here from Acme Tools. Let's go ahead and put her up together. Got some literature here, if you will. Look at that. Plunge base for the Milwaukee M18 Fuel compact router. Isn't that beautiful? Let's go ahead and cut it open. Packaging here. Comes with the dust collector attachment there for the vacuum. And instructions. And here she is, the plunge base. Sturdy so far. Get it out of the bag. It's definitely nice and heavy. Feels really sturdy, actually, way more so than the fixed base. It's got our depth gauge there with our lock, and then the micro adjustments here. Clicks into place pretty nicely, nice and smooth. Let's hope it's not too smooth like the micro adjustment on the actual router itself. Stay tuned for my video on why this is my third router from Milwaukee Tool. This is the third one I've gone through. I'll make a separate video on that. Basically, router kind of sucks. That's why my Ryobi one is still on my table there. Can't deny that this M18 Fuel router has way more power than the Ryobi. The vacuum attachment is pretty nice, but look at that, it still kind of sucks. This little tiny screw here that holds it in place kind of puts all the pressure down there, so this guy here is pretty loose. Have some fine wood dust that comes out through there. And if you try to put the wide base on this one, it makes the screw way less accessible, especially if you have work gloves on. Anyways, back to the plunge base here. This latch here essentially negates the micro adjustment knob on the router itself. Makes it useless, which is great because that feature sucks, and that is why I refuse to use the router without this plunge base. So I essentially spent $300 on a plunge router, whereas the Ryobi $50 attachment or $50 router works way better. And actually, you can't attach this Milescraft base to the fixed base on the Ryobi router, sorry, the Milwaukee router, because the screws are too close together and they actually end up falling around about here or so. But I can already see with the plunge base, the screws are a lot farther out, spaced out, so I don't doubt that wider base will fit just fine on this guy here. And one thing to notice is this is actually a plunge release lever, unlike the unlike the Ryobi plunge base router, where you press down and then lock it in place. This guy stays locked, and you gotta hold down the lever, and then you're able to push down freely. And that's a pretty cool feature, because as soon as you let go, the plunge base will lock at whatever position it's in, and then you squeeze again, and the lever is actually pretty smooth. It has some resistance on there, but it feels very sturdy. And I like how you can just plunge, let go, and it stays put. And then we have our depth gauge here. Nice and adjustable. Overall, pretty nice base. Stand by for another video where I actually try it out. And just to wrap up specifications here, we have smooth and precise plunges, which I can already tell is pretty good. 6 preset depth stops right there. Again, nice, and they stop pretty nicely. And again, obviously compatible with the M18 Fuel router, compact router. So we have a plunge depth capacity of 2 inches, 6 steps at 1/8 inch increments, pretty sweet. Base diameter 5 3/4 inches, and opening diameter of 2 inches. So pretty excited to try this bad boy out. Again, pretty sturdy, and I'm excited to see how it actually works. Stand by for that video. Also, stand by for a more in-depth assessment on why the router, Milwaukee router itself, is terrible. Terrible router with the fixed base. Again, it does have way more power, and actually the motor itself works great, way better than the Ryobi, although the Ryobi has given me no issues in the past 2 years or so, whereas this guy out of the box here, if it weren't for this micro adjustment dial here, this router would blow the the Ryobi router way out of the water. Again, stand by for that video, and thanks for watching.